Hello everyone and welcome to a BulkBox assembly video for the slab product. First of all, I'd like to thank you for buying a slab product and finding your way to our video. This is a BulkBox slab and this is what you are looking to make when it is completed. So by now this will have arrived in the post to you. First of all, take your scissors and cut open the seal. As I do this, you'll see the assembly instructions on the back. Hopefully that's what you followed to get here. Okay, inside we have the plastic wrap. This is to protect the product from moisture when it's being delivered to you and stop it from getting wet. There are 3 tips for assembling a BulkBox. The board has 2 sides. The inner side, which is the test side and that's slightly more crinkled, and the outer side, which is the kraft side. The second tip is to take your time. Rushing will result in bad folds. This is only cardboard at the end of the day, so you have to go gentle with it and obviously follow these instructions to make sure you get a nice finish. Part 1 are the dividers. They will go inside the box when you're done. Part 2 is the lid. Part 3 is the insert. And part 4 is the base tray. Okay, you put this to one side with the rest of the box. Please recycle the box when you have a chance. We'll start with the lid. The lid comes first. So when we lay out the lid like this, so we want to lay the whole product out, you'll notice that this side has the nice smooth finish. And actually these versions have kraft both sides. But you'll notice on these other ones here, there's a slightly more mottled finish, a slightly more texture, and you can see the print lines of the board inside. That's your test side. So we're going to want to fold the lines first, okay? If we crease all of the lines before we assemble the box, we'll get a nice clean finish. Again, we want to take our time and not rush the folding process. All the other lines on the slab should be pre-creased. So we're going to pull this towards us and stand it up, and then bring up this side and tuck over the edge. So I'll show you there how I brought that side up. And I'll bring this side up and fold it in to suit. It's okay to use your body and push it inside, and we're going to fold that edge over. So once you get that folded over, you'll get a nice clean line like that. You can then fold these sides over and push them in place, and the corners will lock in. So push that in nicely into the corner and that will lock in place. We'll then roll it around to bring these up, and again I'm using my body to just push, become the third hand to push that edge over. And we'll put our hand inside like this to make sure that those inner flaps are nice and in line. If they're not in line, you'll start to see a bend here, which you don't want. You want to take your time and make sure that they are pushed clean over to get a nice clean folded edge on our box. And I'm just going to pop this to one side. We now have the inside, so we've got 2 parts to this again, the base tray. Okay, and if you look at the base tray again, we said we've got these witness lines here and here. So if we want to make sure it's turned over, so we've got this mottled side facing up. And you'll see the mottled side because it has bits of bump and bits of texture. And we have the same with this element here. We've got the mottled texture inside, and we've got a nice smooth kraft texture on the outside. So we're always going to make sure we're folding it the right way. With this section, the lattice section, it's much smaller on this than it is on the quad. We're going to fold it like so. Okay, so we've got these creased edges here. We're going to want to fold those just beyond 90 so they actually pop back to 90, and we're going to fold it like a little A-frame like that. And on this section, we're going to start by bringing this one up, we're going to start by folding these flaps over. We always want to pre-crease those flaps to make sure they're nice and bent before we build anything. This one should already be done as it came out of the box, and this one we're going to do here. We're going to pull this one up towards us, again, much like we did with the lid, and we're going to fold that section towards us. And we're going to bring this one up, making sure they're both pushed underneath, and this gets pushed to the back. So we end up with a tray like this. We then take this insert section and slide it in the gap, and that will slide nicely into place. You're going to want to push it into that bottom corner to make sure it's tucked in really nice and neat. This one then folds over, so we're going to fold one finger over and push it so that it clips into place. So you'll feel the little teeth in there. These are the hidden teeth that stop the flaps from coming up. Push that one right in, you can almost hear that snap as I demonstrate here. You can see inside, they've snapped into those holes nice and clean. Okay, now this is the final part of assembling this piece. So we're going to go nice and careful as we do this out. As we fold these over to 90 degrees, we're going to want to hold them there because we want this line to come up, but they're naturally going to want to pop out like that. Okay, so I'll go nice and slowly as we do this. We're going to use our belly again to push that up. So we're holding it in 90 degrees, and there's a slight witness line that runs through here. We're going to want to crease that one over and slide it down into that edge. And you can almost see how now we've got this line resting on top of those bits. And as we go forward, closer and closer, okay, so you can almost hear it popping into place. So now this back edge has rolled over, and you can see it's just tucked inside of those lines. I'm going to put my hands inside here, and I'm going to push up on that inner bit that's folded inside to make sure, pushing those lines. Remember I said about them bouncing out earlier? If we go too hard, we'll get dents here and here. But because we've rolled it into that triangle, we can now push that down nice and straight, and we get a nice 90-degree fold without any damage to the board. Once that's in place, you can fold these over and fold this over. Okay, and that gets you a complete tray. With each BulkBox, you get 16 dividers. They're extra dividers. They're made from the waste. It's usually called drop-off, and that will go back into the recycling process. These are the perfect height to sit at the top of the box, and they allow you to sort and organise your cards. So we can put our graded submission slips inside of here, and they fit in nicely. We can use a divider to divide them, and we can write what the different products are. We can take some of our slabs and pop them into the box, so they fit nicely inside of there. The slight bowing of these edges help hold them firm, but they're not going to stop them from falling over. There's a degree of friction, but not enough to stop them from falling over. And again, our dividers fit inside. They're nice and snug, but they're not designed to be walls or any sort of permanent fixture. They're more to help sort and organise. They're just thick enough to hold in place. You can also use things like satin towers. These fit inside the box, and they're nice and firm as bases to hold your cards in place. Okay, and we're going to take our lid, and when we pop that over the top, you'll hear the nice firm push down as the air leaves the box, and that creates the perfect BulkBox slab. Thank you very much.